She's holding her breath, and Dr. Vitale, again, huge guy, and he's like this. 1, 2, 3.
The storms we chase are leading us, and love is all we'll ever trust. Yeah, no, I don't wanna waste what's left. And on we'll go, through the wastelands, through the highways, till my shadow turns to sun rays. And on we'll go, through the wastelands, through the highways, and on we'll go.
Recording?
Yes.
Look what Mama has.
Nama.
Guys, we're so excited. Woo! Look at this belly. This belly's ready to eat.
Come here.
That's Ava's spot, okay? She wants her juice. Okay, guys, so we got all this food. First of all, what's up, Peña fam?
What's poppin', Peña fam? What's poppin'?
Okay, guys, I just want to say, first of all, if we are looking over there, at any point in time in this video, it's because we have this huge TV screen as our viewfinder. So if we look over there, sorry about that, we're gonna try to look in the lens at you guys the whole time.
Here's Ava's quesadilla, rice and beans.
So if you guys can't tell by the title of this video, we are doing a Mexican food mukbang.
And we are wasting no time.
We're wasting no time because we know you guys want us to just jump right into this. So first of all, we got our drinks. We got some cucumber, pepino. Well, pepino means cucumber. Pepino lime, right? Yeah. Pepino lime, agua fresca, horchata. And Ava's drink is right here. It's a agua fresca, but it's watermelon. What did we get?
You saw my carne asada fries already. Amanda got a burrito and a taco.
I got a bean, rice, and cheese burrito, a chicken taco, and I'm gonna eat his carne asada fries because I am a hungry pregnant woman. You guys, I woke up so hungry this morning. Like when I say hungry, I mean hungry. I was hangry. So my mouth is literally watering right now. I cannot wait to eat. You guys are gonna watch me stuff my face.
Same, dude, I'm ready to eat. Carne asada fry in.
You gotta show them your carne asada fry because although this is a story time, it is a mukbang still, so. You gotta show them, give them a close up, honey. Give them that close up.
It's kind of hard to see because of the light.
We're just set up here on the couch, very casual. We're trying to make this a chill, casual video for you guys because we haven't sat down and just like talked to you guys in a minute, and we have so many more subscribers that haven't seen like a Q&A or like a sit down video from us. So that is what we're here to do today. We're gonna do the labor and delivery story for you guys.
Ava's labor and delivery story.
Yeah, because you guys know I'm pregnant with Stella, about 7 months pregnant. We got 3 more months to go. So in honor of that, we decided to do our labor and delivery story because although you guys, some of you guys saw our birth vlog, you don't really know the behind the scenes of, you know, our actual labor and delivery, this story, everything that went into it. Like, we're gonna give you guys the tea today. Okay, so let's take it back to the beginning because I know a lot of you guys are new. So if you guys are new to our channel and you don't know our story, basically this is our daughter Ava. Say hi, Mama. Can you say hi to the Peña fam? Say hi. Oh, hi Peña fam, she said. So Ava is 1.5. She just turned 1.5. She is still a baby, but you guys know she acts like she's 2, sometimes 3. She talks so much, she's so smart. We're so blessed to have her. But it did take a while to get pregnant with her. Everyone asks, was Ava planned? Like, we get that question all the time. I know we look young, we're 23. We are young. Chris and I are 23, but a lot of people think we're like 12. But yes, Ava was planned. We tried for about a year to get pregnant with her, and when I say try, like we were trying like every day. Like we were trying to get pregnant, we were trying to have a baby. We were taking things like Fertilade, like vitamins, banana almond smoothies. We were trying it all just to get pregnant, and it took about a year. At the end of the day, it was God's timing and God's plan. You can't force it. So yeah, it was just God's timing to do it then, and it was literally perfect timing because at that time when I was about 7 months pregnant. Chris was barely getting out of the army. So Chris was in the army for 3.5 years, and it was literally the perfect time to get out. It was just our timing. So Chris got out of the army. I was 7 months pregnant. We went from Texas back home to California, and we had Ava in California with our family, and it was amazing.
And that's the story. Have a good day.
So that's our little backstory. Now let's talk about the actual pregnancy and the birth, the labor and delivery story.
Let's start it off back at 38 weeks
Okay.
of your pregnancy.
Okay.
38 weeks was the like goal to hit because your mom obviously has 3 kids. You're one of 3 kids, all girls. And she had all 3 kids at 38 weeks.
Yes.
So Amanda really was like, I'm hitting 38 weeks. Like, I'm gonna go as long as I can. Obviously, it's healthy for the baby to grow further. But, you know, once she hit 38 weeks, it was like, oh my gosh, I'm so pregnant. I'm in so much pain. This baby needs to come. Like,
my body
now.
was not made to go to 40 weeks, guys. Like, I was already like popping at 38 weeks. And it's not that I was trying to force her out, but I just had it in my head that I was gonna have her around 38 weeks, I guess, because that's just like how it went for my mom, and I just figured it would be like that for me. And so I just already had it in my head, you're having this baby before 40 weeks, sometime before then.
So 38 weeks came, and dude, we lived at the time in a studio, and it was in the hills. Like, you walked outside and your driveway was kind of sloped. But we walked hills like all day long. Dude, I was tired, and I wasn't even pregnant.
Yeah.
I was fat, but I wasn't pregnant.
Sorry, babe, can you pass me the hot sauce? I'm like, I really need that.
Red or green?
Red. Guys,
So-
if you don't know this about me, I freaking love hot sauce, and I usually eat everything with it. And yes, it's safe to eat hot sauce when you're pregnant. I see a lot of comments, you're not supposed to eat hot stuff when you're pregnant. Yes, it's okay. Chris is putting Ava in the high chair because she's just running around here crazy, and she needs to sit down and eat her food. Okay, so I'm using this habanero hot sauce. This is super spicy, which I love, and it has an amazing taste. So I'm just gonna pour that all over my burrito. But I am gonna save room for the carne asada fries.
If there's any left.
Give me some of those. Give me some of those. Share the love, boy.
Yeah, so 38 weeks hit, and we were walking those hills. Like, we were walking the hills, and when I say walking, we were pretty much jogging or running. She wanted this baby to come so bad, which was, I could understand. She was huge.
Kitty.
She was so desperate to have this baby that we even tried castor oil. And tell them how that experience was.
Okay, so if you guys don't know what castor oil is, basically it's castor oil, not castor oil. That's like for cars. But castor oil is a laxative, basically makes you poop a lot, but it also sometimes works to induce labor. Some people will say, no, don't touch that stuff. Some people swear by that stuff. Like, it just depends on you.
It's all personal preference.
Yeah, all personal preference. For me, sorry mom to throw you under the bus, but my mom used castor oil with her kids, and she was already like in like the process of becoming in labor. Like, she wasn't in active labor, but her body was ready. Like, you kind of know as a pregnant woman when your body is just ready to have the baby. For example, for me, I was in labor for 3 days prior, but it was just really slow labor, and my body just didn't want to go into active labor. So for me, since my mom used castor oil successfully, I was like, okay, I'm gonna try it with Ava. And I did my research. I knew, you know, the pros, the cons, all that good stuff. And I just decided, okay, well, you know, the worst this can do is just make me poop a lot and not work. So I just decided to try it. Don't judge me. I was very desperate. And yeah, I wouldn't recommend. It didn't work for me. All it did was make me poop a lot.
And
like,
feel super nauseous.
Oh gosh, like when I say nauseous, not just nauseous like, oh, I want to throw up, but nauseous because you're on the toilet freaking going to the bathroom so much. It kind of feels like you're sitting on the toilet dying. Like, that's the only way I can explain it. Like, you're just like you're cleansing and you just feel like you're freaking dying. So I do not recommend castor oil. You can try it if you want it, whatever. It's you do you, boo boo. But
she's not doing it again.
I mean, some midwives use it to naturally induce. You know, there's so many ways you can naturally induce, but it doesn't mean they're always gonna work. And castor oil just didn't work for me. It made me have contractions, but I was already having contractions for 3 days, but they were just like not that painful. And that's all it did. It just made me have contractions, and that's it. It didn't put me into labor. But what did put me into labor,
oh my goodness,
little trick up my sleeve.
So this gets into our next topic, which I think it was the next day after you took, or a couple days after you took castor oil.
A couple days later, I let the castor oil get out of my system. A couple days later.
Still walking every day.
I was like jogging up these hills, and I was freaking almost 40. I was 38 weeks pregnant, and Chris was like in good shape, and I was like going so much faster than him.
I was fat.
No, you're in good shape.
No, I was fat.
I
gained more weight than she did in Ava's pregnancy, and I gained 40 pounds. So let's just
I gained 40 pounds. You gained more than 40.
Okay, let's keep it at that. Let's keep it
Anyways,
at that.
just to put a picture in your head, I was like sprint walking, and Chris was like behind me, like, go ahead, babe. Go ahead. You just keep going. Get that baby out.
So a couple days later, we had an appointment to just normal, regular checkup to see how the pregnancy was going and everything like that. And Amanda, like I said, is in desperation mode. So she's like, we're gonna go check this baby out, and I'm gonna ask them to strip my membranes. And if you don't know what stripping of the membranes is,
it's also called a membrane sweep.
The membrane sweep, stripping of the membranes, all that kind of stuff. Oh my gosh. I had no clue what I was getting myself into. But anyway,
me either.
Yeah, so we went to the appointment, and what's the doctor? the OB doctor?
Yeah.
His name
Dr.
is
Beitel.
Dr. Beitel. And
shout out to you. You freaking you put
Dr.
me in labor.
Dr. Beitel, super cool guy. He'll come in like some chucks, super bald, shiny head, big old arms. Really cool. Like he's just a cool guy.
And he's my same OB for Stella.
All done. Eat your food. And so he walks in, and she's like, everything's good. Any questions? And she's like, can you sweep my membranes? And he's like, yeah, but are you sure? Are you sure you want to do that?
Well, he said, I'll only sweep your membranes if your body is ready to go into labor. He said, I'll only do it if you are at least 2 centimeters dilated.
That's right.
So, a couple weeks prior, my body was like trying to go into labor, even the week before that. And I was only 1 centimeter dilated. But you guys know the centimeters of dilation, it really doesn't matter what you are. It's just like, you could be 1 centimeter or 2 centimeters, whatever, but you could be stuck like that for weeks. So I really didn't think much like about it. But he said, I'll only do it if your body's ready.
So then he checked, and your body was ready, you were 2 centimeters, everything was good. And he was like, okay, everything's checked out. Are you sure you want to get your membrane swept? And she's like, yes. Like I said, desperation mode. She wants to get these membranes swept. So he's like, okay, give me 2 minutes and I'll be right back, and then we'll do this thing. And so, granted, this is like what, 9:30 in the morning, 10 o'clock in the morning.
Yeah.
And so
I get the butterflies just thinking about that morning.
Yeah,
that
so
like was the best.
That's what kicked it off. Anyway, he comes back in. Like I said, this guy's big. Like he has veins in his arms.
He's
like
huge.
He's a really big guy. So he comes in and he puts his gloves on. I swear it was like a movie. He takes his gloves and he goes, all right, you ready? And she goes, yeah. And he calls in an extra nurse to come in and like watch, or I don't know if she was like a trainee or what.
She was probably there to help me in case I pass out.
Yeah, so he was like, it's gonna be really painful, and I'm gonna do this 10 times. I'm gonna sweep 10 times. So it's like, he sticks his hand in there and literally like takes 2 fingers or 3 fingers or whatever he takes, and he sweeps around the sac,
yeah, basically it's like the sac and
where the baby
your cervix and your cervix and the sac, and basically he takes like 2 fingers and does like, he sweeps the membranes, which means he like rips, kind of like tears the skin from the sac. I don't know all the technical like terms, but basically like he lifts the sac up away from the skin so that can put you into labor.
So then he comes in and he's like, okay, we're gonna do this, and we're gonna do it for 10 seconds, 10 times. And I'm like, okay. He was like, just hold her hand if you need to or something, like do something because it's painful. The man's like, okay, I got this. And in the past, she's deals with pain. He's like no problem. When she got her first tattoo, she acted like it was a sunburn.
And it was on my hip.
But anyway, he starts doing this thing, and immediately Amanda's face goes like this. And like all her veins in her neck are popping out. Like she is in so much pain, and I can see it in her face. She's holding her breath, and Dr. Bytel, again, huge guy, and he's like this. 1, 2, 3, 4, and I'm like, oh my God, like this is insane. This is super intense.
I could feel the heat in my face just turning red, like a flush of red all over my face. Like I could just feel.
I'm getting hot just thinking about it.
I know,
like,
me too.
Like her face was super red. You could see the veins popping out from her neck. She's holding her breath because she's in so much pain.
Yeah, the nurse is like, breathe, honey, breathe.
Yeah, and she's just like,
amazing.
Okay.
You're doing amazing. I was literally just holding my breath because it hurt so bad. I will say the membrane sweep is way more painful than the contractions and the labor. Like the membrane sweep is freaking painful. But it's only 10 seconds. It was the longest 10 seconds of my life, but it's only 10 seconds. You know what I mean? So to me, it was worth it. I would do it again this pregnancy, like in a heartbeat, because I know it's 10 seconds of pain, but it will get me out of like the misery of being so huge and pregnant. Because when you are like when your lungs and your organs are all smushed together and you can barely breathe, it can be very, very uncomfortable. And so I was just done. Like I was ready to just have the baby. Like you just turn into a different person. You kind of just turn desperate. Like I will do anything to get this baby out of me.
So after he swept her membranes, fluid came out. And he was like, oh, like kind of like, oh, maybe your water just broke, or maybe this happened or that.
Yeah.
And it wasn't a lot, but it was a good enough amount so that everyone in the room noticed, like, hey, there's fluid on the bed. And so he was like, give me 1 second, let me walk outside and get this test strip.
But meanwhile, I was telling Chris, like, no, babe, like this fluid came out of me yesterday, because the day before I thought my water broke. I thought it was leaking, but it was just fluid, like normal pregnancy fluid. But it was like watery, like it was a lot of fluid.
Be careful, Ava.
Enough to make me think that it was my water. So I told him like, no, this is the same liquid as of yesterday. But he came back in with the test.
Yeah, it's like a little blue strip, and if you put the fluid on it and it turns pink, or vice versa, it was pink and it turned blue, or it was blue and it turned pink, one of those. And he came in and he tested it and he said, yep, that's your water. You have to go to the hospital. You're going to go into labor. And so we were just both like there just for an appointment, and he's telling us that we're about to go have this baby, and we both just kind of like,
we were like,
wow, it just kind of hit us, you know?
He left the room and we were looking at each other like,
and we were like, yeah, we were like, do we have to go like right away, or like can we go and grab our stuff from the house? And granted, we were like 5 minutes away, but
here, you want this one?
He was like, no, take your time, but get there within the next like 1 or 2 hours.
Because once your water breaks, you're at risk for infection, so they want you to go like as soon as possible once your water breaks.
Yeah, and he was like, and I'm gonna call it in so that way they have a bed ready for you and everything, so everything's gonna go smooth. And we were like, yes, perfect. And so we called our we went to the house, we got all our stuff that we needed to go to the hospital, called our family, let everyone know what was going on. Everyone's freaking out, we're freaking out. And we go to the hospital, we get there, and we're sitting in, they have to admit you. They didn't want to admit us because she wasn't in labor, quote unquote, in their opinion. Even though Dr.
They checked, they did the same exact test that Dr. Bytel did. They did the same pH level test, whatever, and their test came up negative. How is that possible? Like, how is that possible? So my doctor told me my water broke, but I guess there's a chance if there's blood in it or something, it can show up positive. Anyways, his test said I was positive, and then we go to the freaking hospital and they say, oh no, it's negative, your water didn't break.
And so they were gonna send us home. And she's like, we're not going home. Like,
I was like, no,
we are not
sorry,
going
sweetie,
home.
but we ain't going home. Luckily, what had happened was, as soon as he did the membrane sweep, I automatically started having contractions. So from his office to our house, which was only like 20 minutes away, the whole—
It was like 5.
No,
we
from his— oh yeah, right. Yeah, it was only like 5 minutes away. The whole time, from his office to the house, I was telling him I'm having contractions. Like, these are legit contractions. And so Chris showered, I think Chris showered, I showered. We were just like prepping to go into the hospital because we thought we were gonna get admitted. And
don't call me selfish because I showered, okay? It was like 30 seconds.
No, it was like a quick like hot spot, like, okay, we're ready. And we grabbed our hospital bag, and from our house to the hospital, which that was 20 minutes, I was still having contractions 2 minutes apart. My first contraction to my second contraction, 2 minutes apart, 2 minutes apart, 2 minutes apart. So I was like, okay, I'm in labor. So when we got to the hospital, I knew we weren't going home, because even though my water didn't break, I knew that I was in active labor. They couldn't send me home like with contractions 2 minutes apart. You just can't do that to a pregnant woman. Like, so
that's 38, 39, almost 39. It's the day before 39 weeks.
Oh, that's another thing.
38 days, or 38 weeks and 6 days.
So you're technically not full term unless you're 39 weeks. That's what they consider full term. I was 38 weeks and 6 days, you guys. And they had the nerve to hand me a pamphlet of like all the negative things about like preterm labor and like what will happen, blah, blah, blah. I'm like, I literally told the nurse, I was like, you know I'm 39 weeks tomorrow, right? And she was just like, well, you're in preterm labor, whatever they call it. I was just pissed off because I was just mad because I'm like, okay, literally tomorrow I'm gonna be 39 weeks. I'm basically 39 weeks. You know, it could have been 39 weeks if the days were off. Like, who is she to tell me? Anyway, that's a whole nother story. But basically, they told us, okay, well, your contractions are 2 minutes apart, so we're gonna keep you. And then that's when I was just relieved, and Chris was relieved, and we were just like, okay, we're really having this baby. So we went from the little like checkup room to the actual room that we were admitted into. And oh my gosh, that's when we started vlogging. That's when we were like, okay, this is it.
And if you haven't seen that vlog, go check it out. It's a little bit cringy. It's one of our first real vlogs. Everyone was hating on me because I was chewing gum because I was up at like 2 o'clock in the morning and I was super tired and I was chewing gum like a cow. And everyone was hating on me for it and whatever. So this time I'm gonna do it again.
No, you're not. Oh. By the way, guys, a lot of you guys were asking if we're gonna do a labor and delivery vlog. Yes, we are, and oh my gosh, you guys aren't ready for this. It's gonna be so freaking like good, because not that the first one was like super cringy, but we just weren't as skilled as we are now with the camera and vlogging in general. So this labor and delivery vlog is gonna be so good. I've been planning it for like, well, ever since I got pregnant with Stella. So I cannot wait for you guys to see that. Guys, Ava is teething pretty bad. She has 12 teeth now, I think. And like 6 of them came all at the same time. So she's very sensitive. As you guys can see, she's crying a little bit. Oh, I didn't even try the drinks. Okay, so this is the horchata. So good. I love the horchata from this place. And then this is the pepino lime agua fresca. Woo! Oh my gosh, that tastes like pepinos. You know, like when you have pepinos with salt and lemon, but it just tastes like that mixed with lemonade. And by the way, this is from a place called what? Dos Amigos Tortas. Okay, come here, my sensitive girl. Come here. You want to sit right here with the Peña fan?
Are you done right now?
Yeah, I'm good for now. Can we wipe your mocos? Here, you wipe your mocos. Show the Peña fam how you wipe your mocos. Wipe your mocos, baby. Good job, like this. Oh yeah, good job. Good
Okay, so where did we leave off?
So we went to the hospital, they admitted us.
Yeah, some of the nurses were giving us a little trouble. And let's fast forward 16 and a half hours. And May 17th, which was the morning Ava was born.
So May 17th, 2017, our beautiful angel baby was born. And she weighed 6 pounds, 7.5 ounces, I think 21 inches long. She was very long. She's a tall girl, as you guys can see. What time was she born? Like
I think it was 4:17.
4:17.
I'm almost positive it was 4:17.
And PM, no.
No, AM.
AM.
It was
AM.
AM.
Guys, I was out of it. I had the epidural, but the epidural didn't make me out of it, but just being like in that numb phase when you're just like, oh my gosh, like I just delivered a baby out of my body. And it's just like crazy. Like it's a crazy experience I've ever experienced. I'm so like, I can get emotional talking about it because it's such a beautiful experience, and I'm like we're so blessed. But I'm honestly like super excited to deliver Stella. Like a lot of women aren't like looking forward to the labor part, but I am, because like I feel like since I already went through it, I'm like, oh yes, honey, I got this. Like I'm gonna make the labor and delivery my friend.
And it's gonna be fun because we can vlog it like for real this time.
Yeah. And you guys are probably wondering, did Chris see the birth? Like, was he watching the birth? Do you want to answer that?
Yeah, I watched the whole thing from the very, very beginning to the very, very end, to where they are, everything. Yeah, I watched everything. It was great.
They didn't offer me a mirror. That's one thing I'm gonna ask this time around.
I thought they had one on the ceiling.
I didn't pay attention. I'm gonna ask them for a mirror because I want to see like Ava coming out. I wasn't able to see. I just, you know, obviously felt her coming out. Oh, speaking of feeling her come out, I knew because my water broke naturally. They didn't break my water. They tried Pitocin, but it didn't work. The Pitocin didn't work, so technically I wasn't even being induced because they tried it and it didn't work. They were like, no, let's turn it off because it's not working. So basically it was like a natural labor. Like my body was going into labor just fine on its own. Yeah. So we were just sitting there and all of a sudden I hear this huge pop.
This is at 1:30 in the morning. I'm asleep on the couch. Don't judge me.
Chris was knocked out and like I did not sleep the whole time. So I was just awake. My mind was awake. I was just trying to like, I'm like, okay, my water needs to break because they didn't want to break my water since I was 38 weeks and 6 days and not 39. And so I was like, come on, like my water needs to break. So I'm laying there and all of a sudden I hear this huge pop. Like it's just like huge, and I felt it too. So my stomach kind of like jumped, like vibrated, and I heard the pop. Like this pop was so loud. I did not think your body like could do that. Like it sounded like my freaking organs just like all exploded at once. Like it was so freaking loud, it scared the heck out of me. And that was my water. And so when I heard the pop, I knew, okay, that's my water. So I told Chris, I was like, babe,
I think that was at like 1:30.
Yeah, I was like, babe, I think my water just broke. He was like, what, how do you know? And I was like, she doesn't like when we hold hands. I was like, cause I just heard it. And then, so the nurse came in and she checked me and she was like, oh yeah, that's your water. So then what I was saying, like speaking of feeling things, I felt like a couple hours later, I felt like Ava was coming out. Like I felt like she was like slipping out.
Yeah, she went from I think a 5 to a 10 in like an hour.
Yeah.
Yeah, after her water broke. And then that's when they like started setting up.
Yeah, so from 2 centimeters to 4 centimeters, that was like the longest period ever. It was like hours went by. I was in labor for 17 hours and most of those hours were going from 2 centimeters to 4 centimeters.
Yeah.
Then once I hit 4, I got the epidural and then my water broke. And then I went from that to 10 centimeters like that.
Yeah.
So I felt like Ava was slipping out. Like
give him the real truth. She was like, dude, I feel like I have to go to the bathroom so bad.
No,
remember?
I thought I was pooping.
Yeah, you were like, I feel like I'm pooping. Like I need to poop really bad.
Like, yeah, that's true.
And I was like, are you sure you want me to call the nurse in? Like, let's have him check it out. Like this is our first time in labor. Like, let's have him check it out. She's like, no, like I think it's just I got poop. And then like 2 minutes goes by and she's like, okay, have the nurse come in and check.
Because I knew it was a baby's head.
Yeah, the nurse comes in and she goes, okay, I think we're ready to push. And I see her head right here and we're both like, what?
Yeah, because you guys, it felt, mind you, I had the epidural, so I was numb down there, but you could still feel like what's going on.
Pressure.
Yeah, I had to get the epidural twice because the first time, it numbed me and then I started feeling all the pain. So I was like, please give me more, please give me more. So they gave me more.
Be careful.
The anesthesiologist came in twice. So mind you, I'm pretty numb at this point because this is the second time having the epidural and I could still feel the pressure. So when I told him like, babe, I think I'm pooping, like I was kind of like, I wasn't embarrassed for him, but I was embarrassed because I didn't want the nurses to come in and like see that I had
pooped
like,
all over the bed. Yeah,
because that's what it felt like. But really, what it was Ava's head, literally like trying to slip out. So it was, of course, her head was putting up pressure on my, down there, and it felt like I had to go, but really it was just her head. So that's when the nurse, he was like, do you want me to call the nurse? I was like, no. He's like, are you sure? And I was like, okay, whatever. But I was kind of scared that they were gonna tell me like, no honey, you're still 5 centimeters dilated. Like, so that was my fear. But then when she came in, she was like, oh no, that's the head.
Yeah, let me call everyone in. They brought all the stuff in, and she pushed for 10 minutes, and out came Ava.
Yeah, but it was really scary.
Yeah, it was a little bit scary because her heart rate started dropping because the umbilical cord was wrapped around her neck.
And her whole body.
Yeah, but when she came out, she was good. I cut the umbilical cord, which was awesome. And then Amanda's freaking out because she still thinks Ava, she came out and she wasn't crying right away, which is like bad because they don't know if they can breathe or whatever.
I was like, is the umbilical cord wrapped around her? And she was like, yeah. And I was like, I knew it because that's what happened to me with my mom. The umbilical cord was wrapped around my neck. And so I kind of had it, like, I was kind of prepared for that because, I don't know, I was like, oh, like mother, like daughter, she's just trying to scare us.
Yeah.
But yeah, like Chris said, at the end of the day.
So she pushed for like 8 minutes and they were like, okay, we're going to push one last time. And if we don't get her out, then we're going to have to do an emergency C-section. And she's like, I mean, obviously I'm down to do an emergency C-section because whatever is healthy for my baby, but I'm going to try to avoid that at all costs. So she's like, okay, I'm going to push hard this last time. And she's like, okay, let's do it. And so she pushed on the last time and she came out. Only like 10 or 12 minutes total of pushing, which was really amazing. Yeah. And then she came out and she was freaking out because of the heart rate thing. And I'm just like focused on Ava. Yeah. Ava's out. They're like putting the sucker thing down her throat and in her nose.
He's like, she's beautiful, babe. She's beautiful.
And she's over here like, let's go.
I'm like, baby, not crying.
I'm holding her hand. I'm like, she's okay. She's good. And then I followed her over and they were cleaning her off, checking her out, make sure everything was good. And then, yeah, that's how it went down. And
that was it.
The placenta was crazy to look at. Like, the thing was humongous.
Yeah. As soon as I delivered her, I delivered the placenta. But they had cut me ahead of time, which I'm so glad they did that because they just had to stitch me up after. But if they wouldn't have cut me, I probably would have tore so bad because I wasn't pushing for hours like most women do. It was literally only 10 minutes of pushing. No practice pushes, just that 10 minutes. So I'm so glad they cut me because then I didn't tear and they just cut me and sewed me up. And
it was cool. Everything was good. And then
she kind of just like slipped out after.
Yeah, then that's when we were finally able to get her some food. We were able to do all the testing. Ava got her first bath. They did the footprint things.
Chris got to do the bath with her because I was like so tired. I was like, go ahead, babe. She didn't sleep for like 48 hours or something like that. It was crazy. But all in all, it was a good time. We came home the next day. She didn't have to go stay extra. We didn't have to do any extra testing. Like, everything was perfect. She was healthy. And, you know, thank God because that's all we wanted. Yeah. And that's all we want with Stella too, so we're super excited about doing this again. I know. I hope this video wasn't too long for you guys, but I know you guys want to know like the full story, and now we finally get to tell it to you guys. At the end of the day, we had our beautiful baby girl out safely, and we would have done whatever it took to get her out safely.
Yeah.
When you're in that stage of like, I just grew a child for almost 40 weeks. You will do anything to have your baby. Like, I was just like, cut me open, do whatever. Like, I just wanted to just hold her and like love on her. And she, as soon as, I'll insert the picture right here of the first time she was laid on my chest.
She was so happy.
Her eyes were wide open. As soon as she came out, she was wide awake. She was ready to just see the world. She was ready to see the Peña fam. She was like, her eyeballs were so wide open. And so she was laying on my chest, and they did the skin to skin with me and then skin to skin with Chris. And she latched on right away. She was like breastfeeding right away. She ate so much.
She's blowing through a straw.
Okay guys, so I think we're gonna go ahead and end the video right here. We really hope you guys enjoyed our labor and delivery story, the birth of Ava Grace Peña, who is now a crazy 1.5-year-old. We try to spit out as many details in like the tea as fast as we can for this video, but again, I hope it's not too long. If you guys want us to do more sit-down videos like this, just comment down below and we will definitely do that for you guys, whether it's mukbang, story times, whatever it is. What, baby? Her finger is stuck in the cup. Don't put your finger in the cup. No. But you guys already know we cannot end today's video without giving the shout out for today. So that is what Chris is doing. Do you have the shout out? He's working on it.
So today's post notification shout out goes to Brat Lover. Shout out to you. Thank you so much for showing us love in the comment section, for subscribing, and for turning on that post notification bell.
We love you so much. Say I love you. Say I love you. So like always, if you guys enjoyed today's video, make sure you give it a
big thumbs up.
And if you're new to the Peña fam and you aren't subscribed already,
What are you doing?
make sure you click that subscribe button because we do vlog
daily.
Little fun. She's like, I want to say, but I don't.
Daily.
Yeah, daily. If you guys want to go check out our labor and delivery vlog with Ava, I will link that in the comments and pin it so that you guys can see it. But we love you guys.
And we'll see you next time.
Besito.
Mm.
Mwah. Oh.